Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Kim Hoang, the host of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience, and we're here once again giving you another installment of our episode mini. Now, I know a lot of people are probably asking, they're just like, what is the episode mini? And I'm glad to explain. Basically, we take a full-fledged episode and we condense it into 10 minutes. More or less 10 minutes. We'll talk about a single subject matter, and we'll get right to the point. There will be no intro music, no outro music. It's just me attacking one thing, and that's it. You know what I mean? So far, I would like to say that we've been doing pretty good with the episode minis, and I'm really glad that we decided to initiate this type of situation. So I'm glad that I'm here, and I'm glad to attack the subject matter of today. There have been a lot of people that have been asking a lot about, could you please explain about how I can get on the show, or, the ins and outs and everything like that, because your podcast show is pretty cool. I would like to, be in it and so forth and whatnot. And yeah, I'll be glad to explain it. Let me just, answer a few questions and I'll get to it. It's like a restaurant. We start with the appetizer, maybe a soup, and then a salad, and then we get to the entree, and then we go ahead and we get into the dessert. A good course of like 5 courses. So let me just go ahead and explain. The Kim Hoang Podcast Experience is a podcast show where we like to go ahead and talk to people who has a lot of great creativity, that has a creative medium. So if you are a creative person, like an actor or a director or a film, like somebody that works the camera for like a, cinematographer. If you're somebody that does like a lot of writing for like movie scripts, if you're a stunt person, if you are even a musician where you're in a band and you play guitar or something, or you're your own one-man band where like, you play the guitar, but you're also the lead singer. If you're an artist, like a painter or a sculptor, a photographer, anything that requires creativity, we like to talk to you. And heck, I've been even known to wanting to talk to people that like are martial artists or even chefs, tattoo artists. Again, I don't discriminate. I'm willing to go ahead and talk to those awesome, talented individuals who have that artistry, that creative medium, because I think it's awesome. I think it's really awesome. And, we just talk about you. We talk about, where you came from. And we also talk about why you're here, your creative medium. That being said now, how do we get in? How can you get in? Well, it's real simple. All you have to do is, communicate with me and give me the word. There are many ways that you can reach me. Obviously, for those that know me on my social medias and, you follow me, you can instantly private message me on there. Whether if it's on Twitter, now known as X, if it's on Instagram, if it's on Facebook. Heck, if you have me on TikTok, go ahead and just message me and just say, hey, I heard that, you have a podcast and I want to be a guest because, I want to promote myself, and I think that I would make a very good addition to your podcast collection of episodes. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is that you can actually email us. You can email us over at our podcast email address, which is the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience at gmail.com. You can go ahead and send an email saying who you are, that you're interested and you want to be on our show. And yeah, we'll try to make it happen. Another way, which is kind of rare, if for some reason people have my my private cellular phone number, you can go ahead and call me, text me. If you have iPhone, which is a plus, You can also get me on the FaceTime, and I would love to talk about it. Give me your proposal, what you want to do, and it's all good. Now, the general rule of thumb is as follows. I will talk to anyone and everyone as long as you're, if you got a cool creative medium, a cool art, and, you really want to put yourself out there. I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. The one, thing that I really have to put out there is that I just don't really accept anybody. And what I mean by that is that for some weird reason, if I know or I've been told that you, the prospective guest, has like a bad reputation or something, that's something that I have to consider. And the reason that being is that, I just don't want anything bad to happen on my show. I don't want it to reflect badly about the reputation of my show. And I don't want you as the prospective guest or somebody that may not be a guest to basically embarrass yourself on the airwaves. I've heard a lot of stories and so forth about that. I'm not going to be that one. You know what I mean? If you're cool, if you come correct, if you're polite, if you have something that you want to talk about in terms of what you do, that's awesome. I'm not down for, the extra drama or BS or anything like that, because it's not that type of handling, and I don't deal with that type of crowd. You know what I mean? I have too much respect for myself and of myself to wanting to do that. You know what I mean? So if you're that type of person and you already know right off the bat that you are, don't even, contact me. That's just it. Other than that, though, if you got a cool reputation and I've heard a lot of good things about you, or, you're cool with me because we hit it off so well, yeah, I'll definitely put you on for sure. Because like I've always said, in general, this podcast is not only my podcast, but it's your podcast too. And I'm also the type of person that I really would like to go ahead and interview a lot of people that are creative people that have such a great talent, because it's a story that is just so amazing. We have to share that with the world. We have to share that, story of I'm a drummer and I drum with this band, and I also do side projects, or, hey, I do industrial art, or I do cooking at at a 3-star, Michelin rated restaurant, and I want to do that. I want to do that because I think that, number one, we're here to celebrate creativity, and we're here to celebrate you as the artist and your creative medium, and I think I think that it's a shame that we don't talk about it, we don't share it with the world, and we don't celebrate that. That's just my feeling. But hey, if you fit the bill, it's all good. Now, real quick though, a lot of people have also been asking, well, how do we do the interview once we get in? We'll set a time and we'll set a date. I do have a general rule of thumb that if you are a person that lives in the DMV or within the DMV, I prefer to meet in person. So that way when we create this episode, we can do it face to face, and I can guarantee that the quality of the sound is 100% on point. Now, the only way that I can, waive that exception of okay, we will do something else and not face to face, is either because you can't make it because, of a convenience factor, or you live states apart or countries apart. In that case, we'll probably go ahead and we'll do the whole thing on Zoom. Zoom is an online service where, you can go ahead and do interviews, or you can go ahead and do presentations online, and people can just go ahead and tune in. So either that we can do it on Zoom or we can do it in person if we can help it. I think that the in person, once again, when you do it in person, you are guaranteed the best type of quality of sound when it comes to your episode or any episode that comes through the interweb waves, if you will. So that's all I got for today. I want to thank you guys for your time. As always, guys, please like and subscribe to my podcast on all the podcasting platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and Audible. Those are the way to go. Like it, subscribe to it on all of those channels. Spread the word out to all your friends, family members, and coworkers, either in person or through social media, because that's the way to go. But thank you guys for your time. And as always, we will still create great stuff here on the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience for you guys because you deserve it, and we love doing it. So guys, be cool, take care of each other, be safe, and we'll see you on the next one for sure. All right? It's been real, y'all. Take care. Peace.